You're resting in the chair with your eyes closed, and you may notice your eyes, even wish to open them from time to time. And that's fine, because I really wouldn't want you to not go into a trance too quickly. So much easier simply to allow that feeling in a shoulder, in a hand, to continue as you listen to the sounds of my voice, the sounds in the room, the sounds outside the room, other voices, other rooms, while you pay close attention to the changes in an arm, a hand, and wonder if you are going to be able to go into a trance, while your conscious mind has already begun to drift down, to let go for a time, allowing the body to relax the mind, to relax with it, without knowing at times how much more comfortable you really can become. And sooner or later, everyone's had the experience of falling asleep while watching television, paying close attention to the storyline, just closing the eyes a moment to rest quietly, hearing the music, listening to the voices, in that comfortably relaxed way. When a word or a phrase reminds you of a particular memory, and you drift, dream away for a time, come back to the words again, drift, dream away again, until the words and the music become a soothing sound in the background of the mind, just for a time, and the unconscious mind continues to hear everything of importance to you, while the conscious mind may not notice that you need not listen to everything I say, because you've known all along how much easier it is to learn something when you're relaxed. Though I wouldn't want you to relax too deeply at first. So much more important for you to recognize the small changes, tiny changes, barely noticeable, happening in your breathing, in your pulse, in the relaxation of the face, in a feeling of comfort, security. Because your unconscious will choose to relax your little finger before those feelings begin in a thumb. Or perhaps your wrist will be the handiest place to begin relaxing. But the conscious mind can enjoy being curious about exactly where those feelings will begin. If you drop a pebble into a pool of water, the water flows in ripples on the surface, but just below the surface of awareness, the pebble drifts down. And as that pebble drifts down, past the water animals, drifting down past the water plants, gently floating down, nothing is disturbed as it slowly comes to rest on the bottom of the quiet pool. Even the surface ripples become slower and quieter, and beneath the surface, all is still, calm. And you could recognize your ability to relax and comfortably reflect upon your problems in a certain way, remembering those times when you were sure things were one way, and they turned out to be something else entirely. Perhaps as a child, learning that library is really library, or telling the difference between feet and feet, changing old beliefs, learning new meanings, new ways of doing things. And I wonder if those new feelings, those hypnotic feelings, will stay the same or continue to deepen even more as you try to remember everything I've said to you about those TV dreams and pebbles that drift down, sometimes more quickly, sometimes more slowly. With your eyes closed, as you begin to relax, you probably notice that the first thing you notice is how difficult it is to not become aware of that pain and discomfort. And that's fine. You don't need to fight your mind, which is always aware of those sensations there for you. Because as you relax, you can begin to discover that each time you relax, a muscle in an arm, or a leg, or your face, or even a foot, or a finger, that you can drift down more and more deeply than before into that sensation there in a more relaxed and comfortable way. Because there really is no need to make the effort it takes to try to stay away from that feeling, or to try to fight that feeling, which almost seems to guide and direct awareness down toward it, more and more into it, as you drift toward it, toward that center of that feeling. Everything else can be allowed to relax more and more, as you begin to discover that it really is okay to let go in that way, to allow yourself to relax every other part of your body, and to drift down toward the very tiniest center of that feeling, the very small middle of it, the source of it, and then to drift down through that center into a place beneath it of quietness and calm awareness, down through that feeling and out the other side into a space of relaxed letting go, of comfortable relaxation, where the mind can drift the way waves drift from one place to another, as that body relaxes and the mind becomes smoother and smoother, able to absorb events, even those events, easily and comfortably, to become absorbed in thoughts and images, as the mind reflects the clear wonder of a child a young child, watching a flock of geese as they soar across the sky and fly into the mists, the rhythm of their sound becoming softer and softer, as soft as the down in a pillow in a place where you rest and relax, a most comfortable place for a child to relax and drift in dreams through the mind, protected and safe, where letting go allows the flow and the soft floating upwards, where the mind drifts free of things far below and seems to soar in a sky as clear as glass, so smooth and clear that it disappears when you look at it, and what appears instead is the deep blue shine of the warm, soft sun, a star far beyond that reaches out and provides that warm, soft light as you drift down and experience the comfort and learn to feel the sound sleep that your unconscious mind can provide to you whenever you relax and allow it to drift into a trance, because it can take you down through that feeling into a space, that relaxed, comfortable place, as you relax and allow it to do so, just for you. That relief and relaxation, that drifting down through, which comes to you whenever you allow it to, just as that drifting upwards occurs as well, a drifting back towards the surface of wakeful awareness, as your unconscious mind reminds you to drift up in a relaxed, comfortable way, back towards the surface now, bringing with you that comfortable relaxation, that automatic change in sensation, even as the mind drifts upwards. The relaxation continues as the mind awakens and the eyes open, but the body remains behind, relaxed. That's right. Eyes open now. But before you come back completely, you can close those eyes again and feel that relaxation again, and recognize that ability to relax, to let your unconscious mind find the way to provide you with more and more comfort, more and more relaxed, letting go. That's right. Aware that you can do so anytime, any place you need to or want to. You can return to that place. So here is what you do. Later on today, tomorrow, next week, and for the rest of your life. Whenever you need to or want to, you can close your eyes, just for a moment, perhaps, and feel that comfortable feeling, that change in sensation returns to you, and you drift into that light trance or a deep trance, where your unconscious mind can take care of you, make things comfortable for you. And then you return to the surface of wakeful awareness, not needing to make the effort it takes to try to tell if that feeling is there or not. Just as you return now, back to the surface, comfortably rest and refreshed, remaining relaxed perhaps, remaining relaxed. So, before you allow yourself to drift up completely into conscious wakeful alertness, it may be useful for you to utilize the time now to think about what you've experienced, the thoughts, images, understandings, and how you might use these later on, from one day to the next. Because you have an unconscious mind, and you have a conscious mind, and those two minds can learn from your experiences today some things you can utilize to deal more effectively with those things that have been problems for you before. And so, before you continue to drift up into conscious awareness, normal wakeful awareness, it is your privilege to use this comfortable self-awareness to become more aware of those things you can use later on, those learnings, abilities, and skills you may have overlooked before, to give you a new view of the possibilities for a new way of thinking and feeling and doing things. That's right. Take some time now, a brief time that seems to be a long time, to review and plan, at some level of awareness, those things you will do later on, those things you may change later on, as you begin to use more and more of you. You can use that time now, because in a few moments from now, when you drift up and awaken, it may be interesting for you to know that in that drifting, relaxed state of mind, where thoughts drift by like dreams, that enter awareness for a time, and drift through the mind, while some are left behind to be utilized later on, and others are remembered, or seem to be remembered at first, but then become more and more distant, forgotten over time, and the entire experience can seem so far away, as your unconscious mind protects the conscious mind and leaves those things behind, forgotten but remembered too. And time changes too, so you can know what a trance it's been when you begin to know that what seemed to take a short time turns out to have been a long time, or what seemed a long time, was really no time at all. So for now, as the unconscious mind allows the conscious mind to become more aware of sounds in the room, the sound of my voice, the sensations in an arm, a leg, the variety of thoughts and feelings as the conscious mind drifts up and conscious wakeful awareness returns quite completely now. Up to the surface of wakeful awareness, restfully refreshed, comfortably awake, even as the mind drifts up completely and the eyes are allowed to open now. That's right, eyes open. And wakeful awareness returns quite completely now.